Shalom, shalom, Israel. First and foremost, I want to give all honor, glory, and praises to YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, RAKAKWADASH. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, and shalom to my Akim and Akwat out there who are diligently waiting to be delivered from this final captivity. This is Brother Kawakab coming at you with another lesson. And today I saw a bunch of different Twitter stuff, Twitter news going around, like tweets, trending stuff, and I just want to get into it. So firstly, is from Wall Street Silver, talking about China. Just in life in China now, people are lining up to take daily routine Rona tests under police supervision. The health authorities are now carrying some serious weapons just in case. And the crazy thing is, I seen another video, another brother had made a lesson on something similar where they were in China, they were basically forcing this woman to take an anal swab like out in the open, and they were like twisting her arm and like being mean and rough with her and whatnot. So I thought like that was very extreme, that was very crazy. And then now we have this, okay, which I don't even know if I should, well, whatever, too late. So you see, what they have right there, that whole, I probably shouldn't have showed it, but what they have right there with people, lining up to take their health tests, all right, which is a daily routine thing. Okay, so over in China, it's very much so not nice. It's not sweet over there. It's very bad. All right, now on this Twitter account, there was a lot apparently. People are locked inside they're forced from explicit iris and a bunch of numbers. Okay, you see on the screen. Because of the epidemic, we were forced to stay at home by the Chinese government's illegal measures and could not escape the scene of the fire. Oh yeah, there was a fire. I heard that there was a fire, and that because they were on lockdown, they didn't want them to come out and whatnot. All right, and I believe there's some more videos, but let's get into this right now. You see that they freaking basically like boarded up and locked the dang it, that's not what I wanted to do. Board up and lock them in. All right, and right there's chains on the gates. The door is freaking I don't know, tied through the wall. Wait, why have fire trucks been blocked? Why have fire trucks been blocked by cars for more than 2 hours? Because private cars have stopped in the neighborhood. Days did not move. The whole Xinjiang people sealed home inside 109 days. That's crazy. Sealed in, they were locked up for 109 days, a little over 3 months or 3.5 months. All right, that's crazy. Having your freaking whole freedom of being able to just leave your home. All right, and they were having trouble, with just only leave if it's essential. In America, and now they're freaking going you can't leave at all, no matter what. You have to stay in your building. Like, that's crazy. All right, of course, can't move the car, and it's blocked with all kinds of barriers. So they had barriers set up as well, not just cars. Okay, the announcement didn't mention anything about being unable to get into the neighborhood once the fire truck arrived. Why don't you mention that you're still tearing down the stakes and the fence when the fire trucks arrived? What does the notice say about the low-risk neighborhood and the fire? Why is it always creating internal conflicts at the grassroots level? Why is there rival? Okay. But yeah, like there was a fire, and as I said before, and they were all blocked in for 109 days, 3.5 months. Chinese people, I really don't feel like reading this, but I think it's just, yeah, the government forced them to stay in, and, you know, there was a fire and they were trying to get out to safety, but they weren't letting them apparently. So let's move on more. Slovakia, my thing is being slow right now. Oh wow, that's crazy. Okay, so no sound. There's no sound. Just, they are very strict about not letting them get out. Yeah, okay, so basically it is crazy in, oh, here it is. Here's the one video I saw. And this got a million views. All right, this is what's going on in China. That is absolutely crazy. They are going, like, it is, yeah. Anyway, so next thing, you saw how what's going on in China. Speaking of non-China news, in I don't really know what country this is, but seems to be either like a European, if not American place. Unless this is, okay, so this isn't from Bernie's tweets. Bernie spoke forth. This isn't China, and as world governments and their controlled media condemns the Chinese government's reaction to lockdown protests, they want you to forget they all did the same with full support from the paid media. Never forget that they did this. So let's watch this. Okay, I don't know what I definitely do not know. That probably is a European place. All right, but anyway, yeah, European as I thought. So yeah, basically, they were, they are saying that, oh, China's so wrong. Why are they doing that to people? They're so evil. Blah blah blah. And then look at what they did as well. They did virtually the same thing. And then for some, I guess China, they're trying to deflect the blame, which they always do that. They are notorious for doing stuff like this. Okay, literally any and every bad thing that they've ever done, they will, and they see someone else doing it, they will say, "Oh, you guys are so wrong for doing that," literally forgetting the fact that they did it. And a brother literally made a lesson on this. Okay, I don't know if I'm able. It was over. Where was it? Well, whatever. The main thing was in the video, in the lesson that he did, there was this one girl that was talking about saying, "Oh, you guys are Americans are so hypocritical as they're talking bad about people who have slaves, who own slaves, and they're using that to build up their country, but at the same time, when they're talking bad about them, they build up their country with slaves too. They're pointing out the hypocrisy." Okay, and then on top of that, you have people like this person. I don't know if this is a he or she, whatever. They're saying that they're hypocrites once again, pointing out the wicked deeds of other people, but literally trying to make everyone forget the fact or forget what they have done, not too long ago, if not, or just in general. Like, people are aware of America's history in them, having slaves or having the Israelites as slaves. All right, and most oftentimes you will get condemned for, or most people, media, whatever, will condemn you for pointing that out and thinking or making it seem like you're trying to defend something when you're literally just pointing out the hypocrisy in it. Okay, like obviously, like I can say, okay, China is bad, all right, but just because I'm saying China is bad, excuse me, Slovakia, I can say America is a hypocrite for what they're doing while they're still bad mouthing China. But I'm not trying to defend China. Okay, I still don't like China. China is indeed bad for what they're doing, but it's hilarious that they are being hypocritical about it and saying that, oh, it's okay for them. It's not okay for them to do it, but it's okay for me to do it. Rules for thee, not for me. Like that type of stuff. It's just ridiculous. All right, now Matthew chapter 7 verse 5, "Thou hypocrite, first cast out the beam out of thine own eye, and then shalt thou see clearly to cast out the mote out of thy brother's eye." Okay, so it doesn't necessarily need to be brother, but just the fact that people have something, or have the beam, the metaphorical beam, which is, you did one thing. Just because you did one thing and you actually do believe in doing this, you were okay with doing it when it suits you. All right, how are you gonna go around and say, "Oh, they need to stop doing this, that's wrong," but you had no problems with doing it, as well as they are going to do it yet again. Okay, as looking. Well, I'm gonna get into that. All right, I'm going to get into that because we have some more things to look at. Okay, China, from 247 China News, Chinese protest on your smartphone before you get on the subway. So, one of the things that I actually found out, I believe, with not too long ago, was, I believe, YouTube or one of these well-known sites, in the West, that's well known and most people use it. It's not available in China. So what they do in China is, if you want to access stuff like that, you literally have to have a VPN to change your location. And because of that, they're able to do that stuff. They try to find some sort of way around the restrictions. All right, and again, it's just a hyper controlling way of, okay, well, we don't want our citizens consuming X, Y, and Z, this, that, and third, and whatnot, like that type of stuff. And it may seem like, oh, it's only a China thing, but it's slowly becoming a global thing. Or primarily, there's Edomites. All right, so Edomites are literally, like, I guess, taking a page out of the Moabite book. All right, but in all honesty, like, it's been a long time coming. I don't know how strict China was before. If this is something new, if it's just getting worse. All right, but anything that they're doing, it's coming to America. Just not. Oh yeah, over here there's some woman giving a speech about just how bad things are, and yeah, let's listen to it. Let's not listen to it. Let's read it then. Basically, to sum it up in shorter words, she's upset because of every time they try to say, oh, what's going on in China, she fears going to jail, because the Chinese government and whatnot, they're monitoring and controlling what of China can and can't put out there. They're trying to make it seem like I don't know if you saw the movie The Interview with James Franco, that one Asian guy that was playing Kim Jong-un. Basically Kim Jong-un character was trying to, I don't know if this holds true in North Korea for real, but what they were trying to do is okay, well, I think this is a waste of time now. But what they were trying to do was make it seem like, oh, North Korea is a very good place. Everything is good. We're all good. But in actuality, they were hiding the fact that, things are bad and it's only good for Kim Jong-un while everyone else is suffering. And that's what they were, that is what was in the movie. But now it's starting to seem like that is coming out. That type of that practice is spreading from not just North Korea, if it is actually happening in North Korea, but also to China, and then soon, and maybe soon, America. But I doubt when it gets to America, like, anyone would actually care. But the main thing is, another thing is, I also have met one, I think, North Korean defector / other. I've heard of other stories of people talking about what North Korea is like, and I don't know. I guess it's kind of like, it kind of is, what's the word? Substantiated, but at the same time, a lot of times people, when one sort of perspective on it, they might demonize or make things seem worse than it actually is. So I'm not saying that they lied. I'm also not saying that it's good over there. I'm just saying that, be skeptical about, you know, how things are said, what the facts are. Like, so if someone said, oh, it was the worst place to live in, blah blah blah, well, that is a very subjective thing to live in, because if someone was living in a 5-star hotel and then they moved into their own mansion, okay, like, that's not really, like, saying that the 5-star hotel was the worst place that you ever lived in. It could be factually true, but it doesn't mean that that 5-star hotel was bad. All right, so that's not the comparison, a full parallel, but just for some perspective to understanding that I don't know how bad North Korea is. I don't know if it is actually bad, but do understand that, you know, sometimes the truth isn't as black and white as if we take Cuba, for example. A lot of people were talking bad about Fidel Castro. He's such a bad person and whatnot, but honestly, I've never really heard anything bad about him, any factually bad things about him. They just said he's evil and whatnot, but in actuality, it was just a matter of he didn't like America. From what I heard, the only thing was he didn't want to interact and mess with America, and you know, that's why mainstream media, all right, just recognize him and make him look like a straight up villain. All right, so again, that was all my this is all my point is. All right, just it's a matter of perspective, not, you know, not fact. When you hear stuff like this, especially from individuals, all right, individuals talking about their experiences. But Proverbs chapter 29 verse 2: when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice, but when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn. Okay, so as in addition to, or talking more, going back to, you know, how people are prospectively, and how you know, sovereigns are policing what people say. Okay, the people, when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice, but when the wicked breath rule, the people mourn. So these people are mourning. Okay, they're complaining. They're saying, they're trying to let people know, hey, this is on right now. We need help. Someone please help us and whatnot. But you know, if the righteous, if the people that were in power, not just for the NATO, European Union, whatever, America, Korea, China, whatever, if the righteous were truly in rule, these people would not be mourning, would not be trying to get their word out. As with this person, who apparently is one of the people, most likely one of the people that was in the building, you know, talking about, oh, why they forced us to stay in to this building even when it was on fire and whatnot. So if as I was saying, that if righteous people were in rule, you know, you wouldn't be hearing stuff like this. All right, so what we get from that is Job 9 verse 24: the earth is given to the hand of the wicked, he covereth the face of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? So the wicked are in rule right now. The wicked are, you know, exercising their power on, you know, the world. All right, and this is what we have to go through. And you know, until Yahweh sends YAHAWASHI to come and deliver us, so that YAHAWASHI can rule, be the true ruler, we're gonna have to keep on going through this. All right. And finally, the last thing, what is this? Okay, yeah, the last piece of news I want to go into, from Nashville, Angela, whatever, she screenshotted an article from Tampa Bay Times. More deaths among the jabbed Americans, not a reason to avoid jabs, experts say. Now, I thought that was a very fun. If in fact you are more at risk to doing something, Okay, if I'm more at risk of dying being a police officer, okay, wouldn't I want to avoid being a police officer if I wanted to stay alive? Like, you see, this is the type of stuff. But apparently, okay, they're trying. I don't know. I don't know. This is just a very hilarious and funny news article to even put out. All right, like this is hilarious, especially if they're trying to actually, push that. All right. Okay, well, there's another thing. Hopefully, you read that. I don't want to read it. I don't want to read it out loud. Okay, so that's good thing. Another thing. What else? This is actually true. If you actually checked up, I believe I still remember. It's 12:58. Okay, well, I forgot the exact name. I'm pretty sure it was 12:58 actually, but yeah, those are like there's a bunch of different side effects, and all the information is literally out there. Just search up jab, quote unquote jabbed, list of side effects. All right, I don't want to do it. Well, let's try. Okay, I think it was 32 page. Whatever. Okay, unfortunately, I can't find it. I literally have a video of it up somewhere. If I find it, I will put it in the description. But yeah, let's move on. Is trending. This hashtag is trending, and I thought that was that's a very wild thing to say. Like that's crazy. All right. I want to find a good one before I can get to this one that I actually have saved up. So, okay, so patient gets the C9 after arriving in the hospital because doctors and nurses aren't masking is just about the most infuriating stories of the thing. That is entirely the fault of the CDC director at this damn point in the P. And then the mask. Like I'm really trying to slack it if I am not reading properly and just trying to watch what I'm saying. But anyway, continue. Whatever. Let's just get to this. All right. So this person from YNW, they said, bring back masks is trending. Why? There is no one stopping you from masking up. No one's stopping you from a self-imposed lockdown. No one's stopping you from working from home. No one's stopping you from homeschooling your kids. You don't need permission from a politician. And I agree with that. That's a very good point. All these things that are happening, you want to try to make everyone, number one, you want to try to make everyone follow suit with you when you're the one that's afraid, just as they were trying to make people get the jab when they were afraid. If you are afraid, then why don't you take the safety measures for yourself and stop trying to impose it on everyone else. Okay, this is the type of stuff that didn't, as well as does not still hold true, still does not make sense. All right, now let's see what this replies look like. One, because masks work better if everyone wears them. That doesn't make literally makes no sense at all. Makes no sense at all. Slakia. Two, because not everyone can work from home. Influenza, strep, and RSV. So again, that just does not make sense. If I am trying to avoid, getting sick, okay, I will take safety precautions for myself. All right, it's not my responsibility. It's not anyone's responsibility except for your inner circle to make sure that or whoever is taken care of. Okay, I don't need to force these people to do all the stuff, but in actuality, the real reason is because there's a hidden agenda behind it. There's a hidden reason as to why everyone needs to follow with all these freaking precautions. All right, it's a very dishonest and foolish thing to say that everyone needs to wear masks. Okay, when also early stages they have said that masks do not work. All right, but this person says masks don't work. Let me see.
The questions was basically, do masks harm our immune system? I said yes, they do, and what you're saying is false. Then I get this response. I have been an exposure scientist for 20.
Okay, so let's see. The first one, masks do work. I don't care if you don't want to wear one, but as a daycare worker, no one got sick when we wore a mask 2020. This year, we all got it. So yeah, she explained it in another video, and now she's responding to this. So please explain how surgeons and or personnel have survived for so long wearing masks for hours per day. Please cite your source for your expertise.
20 years, I work as a senior industrial hygienist. We work in preventive health. We basically have a very complex profession with about 15 different disciplines. Masks and respirators are something that is exactly my wheelhouse. I've managed the respiratory protection program for over 76,000 people, and I've tested over 10,000 masks and respirators. And this is a constant question who clearly convey that they don't know anything about how PPE and source control affects the human body. First, we need to address the fact that masks in healthcare are not worn to stop a virus. They are for bacteria, to stop large droplets of spit and sputum during surgeries so that it doesn't get into the suture or when you're closing wounds. But there are plenty of studies that say that's not needed. Why? Because we have engineering controls and we follow something called the hierarchy of controls. PPE and source control is the least desirable and at the very bottom. But in healthcare settings, me along with other engineers go and we implement proper air exchanges. We install dilution, destruction, and filtration technologies to protect you against viruses, bacteria, and molds. Not only that, you're in a very cold environment. Have you ever been wheeled into an OR and you see how cold it is? That's an engineering control that was put in place by someone in my profession. We know that prolonged mask and respirator use highly affects the immune system. How do we know this? Well, it's the exact reason why you have to be medically cleared to even wear an N95 respirator. But let me read something to you from a study by your very own government, which I believe you have a lot of trust in. This was a study that looked at immune response and immune function after prolonged mask wearing for 6 hours. The results showed a significant increase in pulse rate in participants who wore masks for more than 6 hours. I love pointing out the government's own.
Very quick. Okay, well, it's hidden, but whatever.
Own studies right here that tell you that prolonged mask wearing does affect immune response, making the body weaker in its resistance to infectious agents. Here's your study right here, and it's one of many, and it's why.
Oh shit! Wow. That's pretty interesting, huh? I never knew that. I guess be careful with masks. Damn. That's actually pretty crazy. If my computer can start working again. Slack it, going slowly. But yeah, that's basically the main gist of it. I'll very clearly we
questions
see,
was
very clearly we see that there is it's a big issue and people are still arguing. Actually, you know what? Let me go see the response.
basically, do masks harm our immune system?
Did she respond to it? Wow. What a time for my internet to be slow. Oh, no response, of course. Anyway, the main thing is the fact that, we're told all these things. We're told, okay, yep, get the, and also, actually, as a matter of fact, it was, what's it called? I mean, I'm starting to see more, as a matter of fact, and I really want to be careful about what I say and my realizations. Egyptian knows, what was it called? Like, they put a stick, pudding stick. Huh. Yeah, I was not about to read all that. It's just that I'm trying to get this one specific thing. There was an image about it. Oh yeah, right here. There was a hoax on this speaker. Can I not zoom in? Okay, well, now they're saying that this is an eye exam. Anything to, change stuff to. Hold on, where's? Well, honestly, I can't find it. Yahawadah, I can go do the research myself and further go into it. Besides that, I want to get into this. First, some more precepts. First Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 3. For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them, as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. So, what do we have to look forward to? All right, it's the fact that as all these things are going on, a majority of the people, especially those that are of the world / in the world, okay, they don't really notice what's going on, not just behind the scenes in their own countries, but also in other countries, and what this all means for us. All right, because even today they've heard of the Ukrainian and Russian war, but they don't really. It's not really something that they constantly think of or acknowledge as a threat to them. All right, because while there's a war going on, while there's that war going on, what does that mean for us? It doesn't mean, it seemingly doesn't mean anything to us, but if the leaders of America decide, we're going to go get involved, then that just means that, okay, well, now, the country of America is at war, and now it becomes your business because you're at war. Like that's the reality of it. All right. So it's also a very funny thing that you could be thinking that, oh yeah, everything's all good. No one's at war. America's not at war. We're not fighting anything, blah, blah, blah. And then very suddenly Biden can just say, oh, by the way, you guys, we're at war now because Putin was messing with Ukraine. You know what? I just thought, I didn't like that. So, and that felt disrespectful to me. So I'm going to go and, go and pick a fight with him. So, be aware of that type of stuff that can very easily happen and flip your world upside down. All right. All that peace and safety that you were enjoying is now sudden destruction, especially if, the draft comes and you got to go on the front lines to die for your so-called country. All right. Now, in addition to that, probably one of the last things before ending, I want to get into 2 Ezra chapter 15, verse, go to the world and them that dwell therein. Okay. Destruction to the world and those that dwell in those that are of the world, those that are a part of the world, that love the world. All right. That is who the destruction is reserved for. All right. And Yahawadah is going to be very soon. Verse 15, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands, for there shall be sedition and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their action shall stand in their power. All right. So far, like, we have, the war with Ukraine and Russia, but who's to say how long before it's a war between world powers? Freaking, who's gonna side with Russia? Who's gonna side with Ukraine? Who's gonna side with America and all this stuff like that? And there have been sedition, irritation, whatever term you want to use, but primarily hatred towards America. Okay, especially I think the Middle East, Palestine. Okay, definitely do not like America, especially since America's on so-called Israel's side, which it's not really. It's a country of Israel, the modern day country of Israel, but it's not ruled by the real Israelites. All right, which hopefully that doesn't get this video taken down. But continuing onward, verse 17, a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. Okay, for because of their pride the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. So again, it's more. We already have something similar where people were unable to go to are unable to travel. Were unable to travel because the C9P, okay, that, and then now we have people saying that they want to bring back all these precautions that were removed, okay, because they were removed, and now people are saying that they want it all back. All right, now in addition to that, that's one reason. In addition to that, we also have the fact that these people are gonna go and quarantine, put people in concentration camps and whatnot, FEMA camps, all this stuff. Like, they're going to find any excuse, any reason to just police people, as you saw in the very first tweet that I showed. They're saying that, okay, this is a daily routine C9 testing. All right, a daily routine C9 testing with police watching, making sure everyone is doing what they're supposed to and they're not falling out of line and whatnot. All right, but with that, Satan took out my internet, so with that, I'm gonna have to end the lesson right here. I want to give all honor, glory, and praises to Yahawah, Ba'ashem, Yahawashi, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. And with that, I want to say Shalom.